Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a birthday book haul for you guys from my birthday last weekend, and I'm also giving you a basic reading update. Basically, I'm just here to chat because I feel like I don't do that enough, and that's something that I'd like to do more of on my channel, and just show up and have an informal, bookish chat with what's been going on in the world and find out what you guys are up to. First of all, I'm going to show you guys the books that I got for my birthday. I got a pretty amazing haul of books. I'm so excited. I literally can't wait to add these to my TBR shelf. Some of them I have already read, but I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is I am a die-hard anime fan. I actually want to do a video on this channel that's just talking about my favorite animes of all times because it's characters. So these were kind of a present to myself, I guess. So this is kind of the before I get into the books that I was given. I ended up buying my first ever manga books, which is horrible because I'm a huge anime fan and I have literally never actually owned a manga. I haven't read hardly any manga other than flipping through them at Barnes & Noble. The two that I purchased were the first two volumes of Rurouni Kenshin, which you guys know I have talked about on my channel before. I love this series, I love the live action movies, and I'm like, well, I mean, obviously if those are so good, the manga are gonna be even better. The other one that I picked up it's just a duology as far as I'm aware. There's only 2 volumes. It's a very short anime and therefore a very short manga as well, and that is Wolf's Rain volumes 1 and 2. These are kind of a post-apocalyptic story of shapeshifters, and it's just a beautiful anime. I absolutely loved it. The characters in this story are so amazing and wonderful and gut-wrenching, and if you are a manga fan or an anime fan, Wolf's Rain is definitely one that I highly recommend to people. It's very short. It's like, I think maybe 30 or 40 episodes tops, so it's a very quick watch, and obviously as a manga these are not going to be long reads, but it's an amazing story and the characters are fantastic. So yeah, I'm super excited to have some manga on my shelves. Finally, this is way overdue and now it's finally happening. Okay, as far as books that I was given for my birthday, I got 3 and they're pretty awesome. I'm super excited. The first one that I was given is This Too Shall Last by KJ Ramsey. She's a Christian psychologist who wrote this book on how we as Christians approach mental health and suffering, and uses a lot of biblical references in that, and I'm very interested to read her perspective on this because this is a topic that I feel like personally that the churches don't always have a really good response to. She is actually the friend of a friend of mine, so it was highly recommended from somebody that I know. Really looking forward to reading it and seeing what her perspective on all of that is. The other 2 books that I was given, this one literally just showed up in the mail as I was starting to film this video. Brandon Sanderson's Words of Radiance, which is Stormlight Archive Book 2. It's huge. Look at this thing. It's even bigger than Way of Kings, which I'm not gonna lie, like, it's a little deflating when you're like, this is a huge book, but I can do it, and then you see book 2 and it's like bigger. And I think book 3 is even larger than the first 2, which Brandon, killing me, man. The paintings on this are by Michael Whalen, who is a prolific fantasy artist, and they are absolutely beautiful covers. I was very adamant that when I picked up this series, I wanted to have the larger copies because they're just easier for me to read. And I don't know if you guys have seen the paperback, like the trade paperback versions of these books, but they are humongous, and I honestly don't know how anybody can read them. So now I have to go on the hunt for a copy of book 3, and then I will have the full current set. The last book that I was given for my birthday was a gift from my husband, and I am so excited about this, I can't handle it. Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson was one of the first epic fantasy series that I really got into around the same era that I read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, and I think those were sometime in early college. And I had read some fantasy before, but nothing in the epic fantasy genre, and Malazan was really one of the series that really made me fall in love with epic fantasy as a genre, and I love military fantasy to begin with. So it was just, it ticked all the boxes. It's so incredibly massive in scope. I don't know how the man keeps everything organized. I would be really interested to know, if I ever meet him, that would be my question to him. How do you keep everything organized? But I had the paperback set of the first like 4 or 5 books, and I ended up getting rid of them a couple of years ago for reasons, and I really wanted to rebuy them now, and I wanted to get the hard copies, which are actually really hard to find and they're pretty expensive. But my hubby was so sweet, and he started my collection by buying me Gardens of the Moon with this awesome older style cover. So I am able to finally start my hardback collection of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. I'm so excited to have a hard copy of this and finally be able to start talking about this series on my channel, because it is very near and dear to my heart as one of the first fantasy series I ever fell in love with, and I am going to do some extensive videos on why you should read Malazan Book of the Fallen and why it's amazing, while at the same time pointing out its flaws. Because one of the things I've noticed, and it's kind of become a joke, I think, within BookTube, is Malazan fans tend to be kind of mob-ish sometimes about that this is the most amazing series ever and there's nothing wrong with it. Now, I do agree that it is one of the most amazing epic fantasy series in our modern time period. That being said, I'm not blind to the fact that it is absolutely not for everybody, and it definitely has its downsides. So I'm not blind to that, and I think I would really like to provide a perspective on this series that's kind of in the middle of the spectrum, as opposed to the I hate it or it's the best thing ever, no questions asked. So I would like to do quite a few different videos on my channel about this series, because it's amazing and the characters are fantastic, and I really want to talk about it. When it comes to videos that I want to do on my channel, I've been here for almost 6 months now, and I've really been starting to think about what I want to talk about and what I want to, kind of the direction I want my channel to take. And I think I'm such a scatterbrained person that it's really hard to narrow down one thing to really focus on. So I think I'm not going to force myself into that box, because even though it would probably help, you know, with some consistency on my channel, I honestly am not that type of a person. I just want to talk about whatever I'm feeling at the moment, and it's going to be all over the board because that's what I enjoy. I'm really curious, so when you guys are watching, you're thinking about your favorite booktubers, let me know down in the comments, what is it about your favorite booktubers that really draws you in and keeps you coming to their channel? What is it about them that that you enjoy? Because I'm really curious to know if you guys tend to appreciate, you know, that kind of consistency where you kind of know, oh, this is the genre they're going to talk about, or this is the kind of videos that they always do, or whatever it is. Or if it's just the personality of the person. I'm really curious to know why your favorite booktubers are your favorite booktubers. So let me know down in the comments. I'm very curious about that. For me personally, it's because I'm such a character-driven reader. I think it kind of is the same for what I tend to gravitate towards on BookTube. I definitely respond to the personality of someone, and also the relatability, because I love seeing people, you know, somewhat my age. I do watch a wide variety of ages on BookTube, but I definitely enjoy seeing some people who are parents who are doing it, who talk about a wide variety of books, people who really get into the epic fantasy side of things. So there's a lot of different factors, but personality for me is a big one. I love to feel like I'm connecting with the person across the screen, because that's kind of why I joined in the first place. And I think that's a big part of BookTube in general, is that community. And I think that's what draws people in general. That got really philosophical, apologies. But anyway, I'm curious to know what you guys think. That concludes kind of my like birthday book haul and thoughts. I am still working through The Way of Kings. I've had to come up with some new video ideas for the next couple of weeks, because I have a hunch that I won't be doing any book reviews for a little while until I finish this thing, which is gonna take me some time. I mean, if you look at, this is 120 pages of reading, and it looks like I've barely spent any time on this book. So, I am still working through Way of Kings. I am filming a reading vlog that has my reactions to everything and little bits of my day. So once I actually finish the book, that will be going up on my channel. But until then, let me know also in the comments if there are any topics you would like to see me talk about. I'm always open to suggestions. I do have kind of a list going of things that I want to get caught up on, but I'm always open to topic suggestions. So anyways, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week. I will talk to you soon, and I'll see you in the next video.